Hi guys, Sam here from Landscape Plus. Today we are going to be taking a look at the IN-LITE hub range. So the hub from IN-LITE is the start of any of their system. There are two main types. You've got this one, which is a smart hub, and then you have this one over here, which is a non-smart hub. So within the smart range, you've got two different variations. You've got the Hub 150, which is the smaller version, and then you have this big one here, which is the Hub 300. Main difference there is the Hub 150 is a 12 volt transformer, whereas the Hub 300 is actually 21 volt. So you've got to be really, really careful if you're using that one. It's specification only, so we have to check with IN-LITE to make sure essentially that the lights you're looking to use are compatible with that transformer, where it's got more voltage coming out of it. We just want to make sure you're not going to damage any lights, so it's looking at the selection of light fittings and also the distance of which you're going to run them away from the transformer. Looking onto the non-smart range, two different sizes for this one. So you've got the Hub 50 and you've got the Hub 100. Instead of those ones being app-based, these have got a little dial on the front there, so you can set, once it's dark, how many hours the lights come on for. You've also got the option there of a motion sensor going in. So this one would be a wired motion sensor through the port on the bottom, whereas the smart hubs have the option of a smart wireless motion sensor. When I've been describing those there, I've described those as the Hub 50, Hub 100, 150, 300. That's actually looking at the VA rating. So in really simple terms, that is how many light fittings you can get onto those hubs. Each of the individual lights has a VA rating. Add all of those together, make sure you're not going to exceed that on whichever hub it is you're going to be using. So as I say, the smart hub from IN-LITE is all app-based, so it's quite literally out of the box, plug it in. If you've got an outdoor socket, it can plug directly into that one, and then you've got three different ports in the bottom there. So that is three separate switching zones. Exactly the same applies for the Hub 300, whereas with the non-smart versions, you've got two different ports in the bottom there, but they are both switched together. So key difference, you can take two different cable routes, but they are all going to be switched on and off together. If you want more than one zone with this one, then you need a second hub. Another point to mention is the hub protector. So with these ones, they are not to be used outside without one of these. So you quite simply take it out of the box. You've got a couple of mounting points on the back there, hook it onto a wall, protector slides over it. Make sure it is mounted 500 mil off the floor, just to make sure you don't get any splashing going underneath that protector. And when you're mounting it, another really good point to mention is what we would describe as the hot side of the transformer. So the front of it is where the signal is emitted from, if you like. So to make sure you get the best possible signal, have that facing outwards into the garden. You don't want to tuck it in the corner of a garden facing away from where you're going to be switching. When you're looking at cable distances as well for these transformers, IN-LITE offer two different cable sizes. So they've got the 14.2, which does up to 40 meters, and then you've got the 10.2, which will do up to 80 meters. Now, 80 meters off of one of the smart hubs, that's also in three different directions. So if you're quite central to the garden, you've got a lot of cable you can use there. The smart system as well is what we would call a mesh device. So from a switching distance for the distance, not for the cable, but from you to the hub, providing you're in distance of any of these hubs, if you've got 3 or 4 of them within a large scheme, providing you're in distance of one of them, it will then talk to the next one and talk to the next one. It runs on what we call Bluetooth low energy. So actually the limiting factor on you from the hub is going to be the Bluetooth receiver in your smartphone. If that is a problem, then we can look at signal repeaters, or you can look at the smart bridge as well. So that's a real quick going over of these ones. We're going to do a separate video all about the IN-LITE app. That will tell us how we set up the smart hub. So yeah, keep your eyes out for that one. Cheers guys.